What if I told you that our planet still hides places so surreal, so breathtaking, they look like scenes pulled from another world? Across deserts, jungles, and frozen lands lie landscapes that defy every law of imagination, each sculpted by nature's wildest dreams over millions of years. In Utah, the bentonite hills ripple across the desert like an alien painting. Waves of purple, red, and gray clay that seem too vivid to be real. In Venezuela, Angel Falls plunges from the heavens, its misty waters dropping nearly a kilometer into the jungle below. The world's tallest, uninterrupted waterfall born from ancient Tepuy cliffs. And far across Siberia, the Lena pillars rise like stone cathedrals along the riverbanks, towering spires carved by ice and time, whispering the secrets of Earth's distant past. These are not just places, they are nature's masterpieces, proof that our world is far stranger and far more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Today we journey into Earth's most unreal destinations, where science, wonder, and timeless beauty collide. Hidden deep within Utah's Mars-like Badlands lies a place so strange it seems born from another planet, Bentonite Hills. These rippling mounds of clay shimmer in surreal bands of red, purple, pink, and gray, sculpted by wind and water over millions of years. What few know is that this alien-looking landscape was created from volcanic ash that fell long before the dinosaurs vanished. When wet, the bentonite clay swells and becomes slick as soap. Explorers say it can even trap vehicles like quicksand. NASA scientists use this terrain to test Mars rovers because its chemistry and surface so closely resemble the Martian crust. It's not just Utah's hidden wonder, it's Earth's closest glimpse of another world. Even more astonishing, after a rare desert rain, the colors of bentonite hills transform before your eyes. Deep crimson turns to rose, violet fades into lavender, and pale gray shines like silver under the sun. Locals call it the breathing earth, because the hills seem to come alive with shifting hues and soft reflections. Deep in the remote Ural Mountains of northern Russia stands one of Earth's most haunting natural wonders, the Manpupuner rock formations, often called the Seven Strong Men. These seven towering stone pillars, each rising nearly 200 feet high, were sculpted by the relentless forces of wind, frost, and time over more than 200 million years. Yet their strange, almost human-like shapes remain a geological mystery. According to ancient Komi legends, they were once mighty giants who dared to cross a sacred land, only to be turned into stone by a powerful shaman. Few travelers ever reach this isolated plateau. It's accessible only by helicopter or days of hiking through untouched wilderness. When fog drifts through the valley, the rocks appear to shift and breathe, as if the giants awaken once more. On Iceland's Reykjanes Peninsula, where the Earth's crust splits apart, lies the breathtaking Fagradalsfjall volcano, a place where you can literally watch our planet being born. Dormant for about 6,000 years, it suddenly awoke in 2021 after a series of small earthquakes, drawing scientists and travelers from around the world. What makes Fagradalsfjall so unique is its accessibility. You can hike right up to the edge of glowing lava fields and feel the warmth of new land forming beneath your feet. Unlike explosive volcanoes, this one releases slow rivers of molten rock that dance in mesmerizing orange and gold patterns. At night, the entire valley glows as if the stars have fallen to Earth. Icelanders call it a living lesson in geology, proof that their island, forged by fire and ice, is still very much alive. Hidden deep within Venezuela's Canaima National Park, surrounded by dense jungle and ancient tabletop mountains, plunges the awe-inspiring Angel Falls, the tallest uninterrupted waterfall on Earth. Its waters drop more than 3,000 feet from the edge of Auyan Tepui, so high that much of it turns into mist before ever touching the ground. Few know that the falls were named after Jimmy Angel, an American pilot who accidentally discovered them in 1933 when his plane crashed nearby. The local Pimon people, however, have long called it Kerepakupai Meru, the fall from the highest point. Reaching it is an adventure of days by river and foot through untouched rainforest. When morning light hits the mist, rainbows dance in the air, and the thunder of the cascade echoes for miles. It's a place so remote, so powerful, that standing before it feels like witnessing the heartbeat of the planet itself. Along the frozen banks of the Lena River in Siberia rises one of Russia's most surreal natural wonders, the Lena Pillars. Stretching for miles, these towering stone spires soar more than 300 feet high, forming what looks like a colossal cathedral carved by nature itself. Created over 500 million years ago from ancient limestone and dolomite, the pillars were shaped by relentless frost and wind through countless ice ages. Few realize that this region was once a shallow tropical sea teeming with early life. Fossils found here include some of the earliest multi-cellular organisms ever discovered. In winter, the cliffs shimmer under frost, while in summer, golden sunlight paints them with fire-like hues. Reaching them requires a long boat journey up the mighty Lena River, but the sight is otherworldly, an untouched landscape where time feels frozen. Locals say the pillars are ancient spirits turned to stone, still watching over the Siberian wilderness in eternal silence. Just outside Dakar, Senegal, lies one of Earth's most astonishing natural marvels, Lake Retba, famously known as the Pink Lake. What makes this lake so extraordinary is its vivid, bubblegum pink color, which shifts from rose to deep magenta depending on the sunlight. Few people know that the color comes from microscopic algae called Dunaliella salina, which thrive in the lake's extreme salt concentration, even higher than that of the Dead Sea. The algae produce a red pigment to absorb sunlight, tinting the water pink. During the dry season, salt collectors wade through the shimmering waters, coating their skin with shea butter to protect it from the harsh salinity. From above, Lake Retba looks like a pool of liquid cotton candy surrounded by golden dunes. It's a surreal reminder that nature's palette has no limits, a place so strange and beautiful it feels painted by a dream. In the heart of New Zealand's North Island, near Lake Taupo, roars the spectacular Huka Falls, one of the most powerful waterfalls in the entire country. What makes it so extraordinary isn't just its beauty, but its raw force. Every second, more than 220,000 liters of turquoise water surge through a narrow volcanic gorge only 50 feet wide. The name Huka comes from the Maori word for foam, describing the frothy white water that explodes into mist as it crashes below. Few know that this dramatic scene is part of the Waikato River, New Zealand's longest, forced through ancient lava rock formed by past eruptions. On sunny days, the churning water glows electric blue, while the thunderous sound can be heard long before you see it. It's not just a sight, it's an experience that shakes the ground beneath your feet and leaves every visitor in awe of nature's raw energy. Perched dramatically atop white limestone cliffs that plunge into the turquoise Mediterranean, Bonifacio, on the southern tip of Corsica, is one of France's most breathtaking and least expected wonders. This medieval citadel town seems to float above the sea, its pastel houses balanced on the very edge of the cliffs, some foundations jutting out over the void. Few travelers realize that the entire city is built on rock, shaped by relentless wind and waves for millions of years, creating hidden sea caves and arches below. Its narrow streets twist through centuries of history, from pirate raids to Genoese rule, while the ancient King of Aragon's stairway, carved directly into the cliff face, descends almost 200 steps to the glittering water. At sunset, Bonifacio glows golden against the sapphire sea, and when the mistral winds blow, you can hear the waves echo through the cliffs like whispers from the past, a living postcard of France's wild island soul. In the rugged northwest corner of Wyoming lies one of America's most breathtaking landscapes, Grand Teton National Park. Towering over pristine valleys and shimmering lakes, the jagged Teton Range rises nearly 14,000 feet straight from the plains with no foothills to soften the view. What makes this park truly unique is that these peaks are among the youngest mountains in North America, yet they sit beside rocks over 2.5 billion years old, some of the oldest on the continent. Few know that the valley below Jackson Hole was carved by massive glaciers that once filled it with ice a mile deep. Today, elk, moose, and grizzly bears roam freely across its wild meadows, and on still mornings, the mountains reflect perfectly in the mirror-like waters of Jenny Lake. At sunrise, when golden light hits the peaks, it feels as if the entire world pauses. A silent, sacred moment that captures the raw soul of the American West. Hidden in the remote western wilderness of Madagascar lies one of the planet's most surreal landscapes, Tsingy de Bemaraha National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site often called the Stone Forest. Here, razor-sharp limestone spires rise hundreds of feet high, forming a maze so dense and dangerous that even walking through it feels like entering another world. The word Tsingy means where one cannot walk barefoot in Malagasy, and it's true. The rocks are so jagged they can slice through shoes. Few realize that this alien terrain began as an ancient seabed, slowly carved by rain and wind over millions of years. Within its labyrinth live rare creatures found nowhere else on Earth, from lemurs leaping across stone needles to tiny chameleons clinging to the cliffs. Scientists call it a living time capsule of evolution. From above, the Tsingy looks like waves of grey stone frozen in motion, a natural fortress untouched by time, mystery, and man. On the Whitsunday Islands off Australia's northeastern coast lies Whitehaven Beach, often called the most beautiful beach on Earth, and for good reason. Its sand is a dazzling, pure white, made of 98% silica, so fine it squeaks beneath your feet and never gets hot, even under the blazing sun. The 7-kilometer stretch curves gracefully along turquoise waters that shift in shades of blue and green with the tides. Few know that the swirling patterns seen from above are created where the sand and seawater mix in a natural dance, forming one of the most photographed sights in the world, Hill Inlet. Unlike many famous beaches, Whitehaven remains untouched by development. No hotels, no roads, just nature in its most pristine form. On calm days, the water is so clear you can see rays gliding beneath the surface. It's not just a beach. It's Australia's living postcard of paradise, painted by wind, water, and time. Rising majestically above the plains of East Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania is not only the continent's highest peak, reaching nearly 20,000 feet, but also one of the most extraordinary natural wonders on Earth. What makes it truly fascinating is that it's a freestanding volcano, not part of any mountain range, formed by three ancient cones: Kibo, Mawenzi, and Shira. Few realize that Kilimanjaro's summit was once covered by massive glaciers that have slowly receded over the past century, revealing surreal ice formations sculpted by wind and sunlight. Climbers pass through 5 distinct climate zones on their journey, from tropical forest to alpine desert to icy summit, as if trekking from the equator to the Arctic in a single week. Local Chaga legends tell that the mountain is home to spirits guarding snow and fire. In the heart of Botswana's Kalahari Desert lies one of the most astonishing ecosystems on Earth, the Okavango Delta. Unlike any other river system, the Okavango never reaches the sea. Instead, its waters spill into the desert, creating a vast inland oasis that breathes with the rhythm of the seasons. Each year, floods from distant Angolan highlands transform the dry plains into a labyrinth of lagoons, channels, and islands teeming with life. Few realize the miracle of timing. The floodwaters arrive in the middle of Botswana's dry season, turning barren land into a paradise for elephants, hippos, lions, and countless birds. From above, the delta looks like a giant green handprint on the desert. Local tribes have long called it the river that never finds the sea, believing it's a sacred gift from the gods. At sunrise, when mist rises from its mirrored waters, the Okavango feels like the heartbeat of Africa itself, wild, eternal, and free. Off the rugged coast of Scotland's Isle of Staffa lies one of the most mesmerizing natural wonders in the world, Fingal's Cave. Formed entirely from hexagonal basalt columns created by ancient volcanic lava flows, the cave looks almost man-made, as if carved by giants with perfect symmetry. Its arched entrance opens to the Atlantic Ocean, where waves roll in and create haunting echoes that sound like a cathedral organ. Few people know that the cave inspired composers like Felix Mendelssohn and even legends in Celtic mythology, said to be part of a bridge once built by the Irish giant Finn McCool to reach Scotland. Measuring about 220 feet deep and 60 feet high, Fingal's Cave has a natural acoustics so pure that even a whisper seems to sing. Standing inside, surrounded by the rhythmic sound of waves and stone, feels like stepping into a myth, a place where geology, music, and legend become one. Straddling the border between Argentina and Brazil, Iguazu Falls is one of the most breathtaking natural spectacles on Earth, a network of nearly 300 waterfalls stretching almost 2 miles across lush rainforest. What makes Iguazu so extraordinary is its sheer scale and sound. Every second, more than 132,000 gallons of water plunge over cliffs as high as 260 feet, creating a thunderous roar and mist that can be seen from miles away. Few know that the name Iguazu comes from the Guarani words for big water, and local legend tells of a serpent god whose rage split the river, forming the falls. The most powerful section, the Devil's Throat, is a massive horseshoe-shaped chasm where rainbows constantly dance through the spray. Home to toucans, jaguars, and butterflies the size of your hand, Iguazu Falls is more than a wonder. It's a living symphony of power, color, and untamed beauty at the heart of South America. In the heart of the Philippines sits one of the world's most unique and deceptive natural wonders, Taal Volcano. Nestled within a vast crater lake on Luzon Island, it's a volcano inside a lake, inside a volcano, a geological puzzle that stuns scientists and travelers alike. Despite its calm beauty, Taal is one of the most active volcanoes in the country, having erupted more than 30 times in recorded history. Few realize that the island in the middle, Volcano Island, contains its own crater lake, with a tiny island inside that, making it one of the few places on Earth with this rare lake within a lake phenomenon. The surrounding water changes color from blue to emerald depending on the sunlight and mineral content. Locals call it both beautiful and dangerous, the sleeping giant that shapes the land and life around it. From afar, Taal looks serene, but beneath its quiet surface lies the fiery heart of the Philippines itself. Stretching more than 1,400 miles along Australia's northeastern coast, the Great Barrier Reef is the largest living structure on Earth, so vast it can be seen from space. Composed of nearly 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands, it's home to an explosion of life: coral gardens, sea turtles, manta rays, and more than 1,500 species of fish. What few people know is that this underwater wonder is over 20 million years old, yet constantly rebuilding itself as coral grows, dies, and regenerates. The reef acts like a living city, with each organism playing a role in maintaining its delicate balance. Beneath the waves, the colors shift from neon blues to fiery oranges, creating one of the most mesmerizing ecosystems ever known. Scientists call it the rainforest of the sea, but locals simply see it as sacred, a heartbeat of the ocean that reminds us how alive our planet truly is. Hidden in the hills of northeastern India's Manipur state lies Loktak Lake, one of the most extraordinary and little-known wonders of Asia. What makes it so unique are its fumdis, floating islands made of vegetation, soil, and organic matter that drift gently across the lake's surface. Some of these floating islands are large enough to support entire fishing villages, with homes, schools, and farms all resting on water. Few realize that Loktak is also home to the world's only floating national park, Kabul Lamjau, which shelters the rare and endangered Sangai deer found nowhere else on Earth. The lake's waters change color with the seasons, shimmering from deep blue to golden green as the sun moves across the sky. Locals call it the lifeline of Manipur, a sacred place where land and water live in harmony. In southern Utah's high desert lies one of America's most otherworldly landscapes, Bryce Canyon National Park. Despite its name, it's not a true canyon, but a vast, natural amphitheater carved by frost and rain over millions of years. What makes Bryce so mesmerizing are its thousands of towering rock spires called hoodoos, fiery red, orange, and pink formations that seem to rise like an army of stone guardians. Few people know that no two hoodoos are ever alike. Each one has been shaped uniquely by the region's extreme temperature swings that cause the rock to crack and erode. Local Paiute legends tell that the hoodoos were once ancient beings turned to stone as punishment for their misdeeds, forever frozen in the heart of Utah's silent desert cathedral. In the far north of Madagascar, hidden within a dry and rugged landscape, lies one of the island's most unusual wonders, the Singhi Rouge, or Red Singhi. Unlike the famous grey limestone pinnacles of western Madagascar, these formations are sculpted from soft red laterite clay and sand. Over thousands of years, wind and seasonal rains have carved the earth into forests of fragile spires, towers, and ridges that seem almost too delicate to touch. The colors shift dramatically with the light, from pale orange to deep crimson, creating a natural cathedral of red stone. Unlike many landscapes that took millions of years to form, the Red Singhi is still being shaped before our eyes, eroding and transforming with every rainfall. Tucked away near the town of Antsiranana, the Red Singhi remains one of Madagascar's least visited treasures, offering a glimpse into the island's raw and fragile beauty that few travelers ever witness. Every summer, the rolling hills of Provence in southern France transform into a sea of violet. The legendary lavender fields that have captivated travelers, artists, and dreamers for centuries. Stretching as far as the eye can see, these fragrant rows bloom from late June to early August, painting the countryside in shades of purple and gold beneath the Mediterranean sun. What few people know is that lavender was first cultivated here by monks in the Middle Ages for its healing and purifying powers. The dry air, high altitude, and limestone soil of Provence make it some of the most aromatic lavender on Earth. During harvest, the air fills with the soft hum of bees and the scent of summer itself. From the hilltop villages of Gordes and Soude, the landscape looks almost unreal, like a watercolor painting come to life. Just off the coast of Bali lies Nusa Penida, an island so wild and untamed it feels like stepping into a forgotten world. Towering limestone cliffs plunge into turquoise waters, while hidden beaches and secret coves reveal some of the most breathtaking views in Indonesia. What makes Nusa Penida truly extraordinary is its raw beauty. It's less polished than Bali, but that's exactly its charm. Few travelers know that the island was once considered sacred, a place where Balinese priests performed ancient purification rituals. Beneath its waves lies another wonder, a thriving marine sanctuary where manta rays with wingspans over 12 feet glide gracefully through crystal-clear waters. The famous Keling King Beach, shaped like a T-Rex from above, has become an icon, yet much of the island remains untouched, rugged, spiritual, and alive with mystery. Each spring, the Dutch countryside bursts into an ocean of gold as endless fields of canola flowers blanket the land in radiant yellow. While the Netherlands is world famous for its tulips, few visitors realize that these golden blooms, known locally as koolzaad, are just as breathtaking. Stretching across windmill-dotted landscapes and canal-lined farmlands, canola fields create a glowing contrast against the bright blue sky. The flowers aren't just beautiful, they're vital to the ecosystem, attracting countless bees and butterflies, and their seeds are used to make the country's natural rapeseed oil. Farmers plant them after the winter frost, and by April, the fields shimmer like sunlight made solid. From a distance, they look almost surreal, a sea of gold flowing beneath old windmills and church steeples. Winding through misty mountains, lush tea plantations, and coastal villages, the trains of Sri Lanka offer one of the most breathtaking rail journeys in the world. More than just transportation, these trains connect remote communities and showcase the island's landscapes in a way no road ever could. The most famous route runs from Kandy to Ella, where blue carriages curve through emerald green hills and over century-old bridges, like the iconic Nine-Arch Bridge. Built during the British colonial era in the 19th century, the railway has become both a lifeline for locals and a symbol of adventure for travelers. Windows and open doors frame views of waterfalls, rice paddies, and jungle valleys that feel timeless. Riding a Sri Lankan train is not only a journey across the island, it's a passage into the rhythm of daily life, where history, culture, and nature roll by on steel tracks. Perched high in the Swiss Alps, hidden within the dramatic landscape of the Appenzell region, stands Altenalp-Turm, one of Switzerland's most breathtaking and least known natural wonders. This striking limestone peak rises sharply from rolling green meadows, its rugged cliffs catching the first light of dawn like a stone flame. Few people realize that the area around Altenalp-Turm was once a prehistoric seabed, its layers of rock formed over millions of years and later lifted skyward by the mighty forces of the Alps. Today, it's a paradise for climbers and hikers seeking solitude far from the crowded trails. From its summit, you can see deep valleys, crystal blue lakes, and the distant peaks of Sentis, shimmering in the alpine sun. Rising from the desert cliffs of northern Arizona, the Glen Canyon Dam is one of the most ambitious engineering feats in the American Southwest. Completed in the 1960s, it holds back the mighty Colorado River to form Lake Powell, a reservoir that stretches for nearly 200 miles through winding red rock canyons. The dam towers over 700 feet, making it one of the tallest in the United States, and provides hydroelectric power to millions across the region. Yet, it is also one of the most controversial structures in modern history. While it brought water and energy to growing cities, it also flooded countless ancient canyons, petroglyphs, and habitats, forever changing the landscape. In the heart of the South Pacific lies Tuvalu, one of the smallest and most remote nations on Earth. A chain of 9 coral islands so tiny they barely rise above sea level. Home to fewer than 12,000 people, Tuvalu is a place where time seems to slow, where turquoise lagoons meet skies so vast they blend into the horizon. What makes Tuvalu truly extraordinary is its fragility. The entire country averages only 6 feet above sea level, making it one of the most vulnerable places to rising oceans. Few realize that Tuvalu has no rivers. Every drop of fresh water comes from rain, and most travel between islands happens by small boats that glide over crystal-clear reefs. Despite its isolation, the nation is rich in Polynesian culture, where music, dance, and storytelling keep ancient traditions alive. Hidden within the high desert of northern Arizona, Grand Falls is a natural wonder, unlike any other waterfall in the United States. Nicknamed the Chocolate Falls, its torrents rush down in shades of brown and red, carrying silt from the surrounding desert and creating the appearance of liquid chocolate cascading over volcanic rock. Standing higher than Niagara, the falls measure more than 180 feet, yet they flow only seasonally, most powerfully during spring snowmelt or after desert rains. Located on Navajo Nation land, the site remains relatively unknown to travelers, adding to its mystique. Against a backdrop of crimson mesas and wide desert skies, Grand Falls combines the raw force of water with the vivid colors of the Southwest, offering a fleeting but unforgettable spectacle in the heart of Arizona's canyon country. Stretching along the northern shores of Lake Geneva, the Lavaux vineyards of Switzerland form one of the most enchanting landscapes in Europe. A masterpiece where nature and human craft have worked together for nearly 1,000 years. Terraced into steep hillsides, these golden green vineyards cascade down toward the shimmering blue lake, backed by the snowy peaks of the Alps. Few people know that monks first carved these terraces in the 11th century, shaping the rocky slopes by hand to catch the sun and store its warmth in the stone walls. Today, Lavaux is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, producing some of Switzerland's finest wines, especially the crisp white chasselas. Walking its ancient trails, you can hear the echo of church bells, the rustle of grape leaves, and the gentle lapping of water below.